I don't know what you did.
Oh, should be good.
You say that, but then you'll fucking bitch at me.
Because you'll turn this way and talk.
Well, you're hard to look at.
That's a valid excuse, I suppose.
Don't fucking fuck with my coffee.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's been a day. I'm bitchy.
What up, and welcome to another episode of Brotherhood Without Manners, your favorite full spoiler reread podcast of George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire series. I'm Nate, and joining me is the extra bitchy today, Zach. Hey, Zach.
I don't know what the fuck that was. Spoiler.
As I mentioned, extra bitchy today.
Spoiler. You just sounded weird. Spoiler.
That was called adding some pepper.
Don't talk to me about the pepper. Spoiler. As Nate said, we're full spoiler. Hey, we took a break because of the holiday. It's been a shit show. I don't like the holidays these days.
Yeah, no.
Fuck them. Fuck your Thanksgiving. Fuck your Christmas. And fuck your New Year's. Just kidding. I'm not that sour about it. But yeah, they're just exhausting. And so we decided to take a little breaksy for the Christmas holiday at least. And so we're coming to you after it. Hopefully you got through yours. If not, enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But we managed to survive ours. Now we're limping into the new year here like wounded animals.
Yippee.
But we're here to read some of Storm of Swords because we're almost done.
Yeah.
We're almost done with this book, y'all.
Yeah, counting the epilogue, we got 4 chapters left after today's.
Hot dog.
Today's being Tyrion.
Hot dog.
Tyrio, you know. And it's Tyrion 11. It's been a back and forth, you know, as the number of character point of views dwindles, it's kind of inevitable that it's not going to be that long in between chapters for these people. So we arrive at Tyrion's final chapter.
Aww.
Last chapter was Johnny Boy.
Jon Snow.
But that's way up north at the wall.
Jon Stark? ? Well, that was the offer that was made by El Staniso.
See, you're giving me shit for Tyrio, and you're talking about El Staniso, so...
Putting a little pepper on it.
So.
Stannis is making deals for castles that aren't his, trying to gain some allies up in the north. He also wants to wed Jon to Val, solidify some wildling alliances, because he doesn't understand how the wildlings work. And Mance Rayder is a hostage to Stannis, which sucks for Mance. But it won't here in a little bit because he's going to get clamored and sent on a special mission.
Bye.
But, as you said, it's Tyrion time. And so, last we left, I'm fucking exhausted, so brace yourselves for that. Last we left Tyrion's been in some hot water just a little bit. He's in some trouble.
What?
Everyone thinks he killed Joffrey because he poured the wine out of the goblet. Isn't that important? Don't we think? Oh, wait, Nate doesn't. Nate didn't think it was important.
We already went over that I changed my mind on
right.
that,
I'm still going to give you shit about it. That's what I do.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
Are you new here? Tyrion poured out the poisoned wine, which absolutely convicted him of this crime. He's on trial for it. It was going shitty, and then they brought in Shae, which was extra shitty. And she was a complete bitch about it.
Yeah.
You can listen to me lose my fucking mind over it.
Coughing in the nail there. So he was forced to do a trial by combat, as we know.
It was dumb of him to do because Jaime wasn't around at that point, at least as far as he knew.
Right, he was in the back of the room.
And so he was going to have to fight it himself. And by it, I mean the mountain.
He might have, why can't I say this word? Biblically. Have stood a better chance if it was, with the whole David versus Goliath thing.
I think that was the imagery that's been being invoked with the, I'll slay the mountain myself, because Bronn fucking was like, nah.
No, I don't think so,
Plus, he's getting stoked with, Castle Stokeworth and all that. So, Bronn pieced the fuck out. Even little Podrick Payne seemed to be like thinking that Tyrion might have been guilty of said crimes. Kevin Lannister became a douchebag. Everything was just going bad for Tyrion, and then the Red Viper Adorn showed up and was like, I'm a bisexual icon, and I will be your champion. And then he got his head exploded.
He got all squished.
And I hate it so much. He won. He had him beat, and it was great, but...
Yeah, hubris and overconfidence and not realizing that George Martin's gonna fucking rip our hearts out.
It was, I would say, less hubris and overconfidence and more he wanted the confession. He was here for justice, not just for revenge. And so he was trying a little too hard and lost sight of how dangerous the mountain was and got. He got got. Even though we're not reading got, he got.
I think it was more the overconfidence in the poisons that they would have had a stronger effect on the mountain to keep him immobilized. But, yeah, unfortunately, he strayed a little too close. And so, yeah.
I mean, the mountain is dying, which is
right.
Fun.
Oberyn won. He did win until he didn't. He got that last gasp of breath, and that sucks.
Tyrion.
So we're here in Tyrion's cell.
This is it. 11. This is the last. Tyrion's done for this book.
He's dead.
He's dead.
He's dead is what the, reader is to assume here. Oh, this is his final chapter, so he's going to be Ned Stark here at the final bit. And so he hears somebody approaching his cell and the jangling of the keys, and he's kind of having this inner talk with himself. I'm not going to be going quietly.
I'm going to die with someone's blood in my mouth.
Bite and scratch and let's fucking go.
Hell yeah.
He does wonder if they're going to just kill him here or if they plan on bringing him somewhere else, as we learned later on that he will be going up to the tourney grounds if he weren't escaping tonight.
They have a history of botching this type of shit, and so maybe just killing him here in the dark will be a little easier, and he's not wrong. I mean, look at Ned Stark, as you just said, but also, the trial itself was just a shit show, and so, yeah, it might be better, and he's like, and if they don't, I got some shit I can let slip, and so I definitely think he would have announced that Joffrey is incest baby. Was, and Tommen is, and just thrown the whole royal succession into the flames.
Do you think this is where the initial words come into his mind of she's fucking Lancel and Osmond Kettleblack?
No, because he's not thinking of Jaime at all at this point. His hatred is purely for Tywin and Cersei.
So that's what I mean, is one of the things that he plans on saying to everybody is she's fucking, on top of him being an incest baby, she's over here fucking Lancel, her cousin, and Osmond, the White Cloaks. I think he
still knows that, that would really only hurt Jaime. And so,
sure.
And he isn't in that mindset yet. He doesn't want to hurt Jaime right here at the beginning, at least. And
right,
so,
we haven't gotten the Sparrow coming in and showing that stuff can be used against them.
Yeah, no, I think it's more family secrets. It's I'm going to do whatever I can to, talk shit on the Lannister lineage as a whole and throw Cersei's power out of whack. But he doesn't get the chance to, because as the keys open, Tyrion's like, shit, I wish I had a weapon, and he pushes back against the wall, and he's like, come on and just fucking do it, you little bitch. And then Jaime's like, haha,
right,
hello.
We finally get the long-awaited reunion of Tyrion and Jaime.
Yep, Jaime's not looking at all like Tyrion remembers him because, as we know, he went through a whole book of shit. And so, yeah, Tyrion takes note of how gaunt he is, how his hair is short, and, of course, the missing hand. And Tyrion laughs and is like, oh shit, Jaime, my bad, but, look at us, noseless and handless, the Lannister boys, that's us.
See, as the reader, this chapter fucking sucks so bad, because we're seeing Jaime doing everything he can to, honor Brienne and him being a honest, noble person who's like, let me tell you the truths. I'm sorry about these secrets. I'm trying to be a better... Oh, my brother fucking hates me now. Oh, no, I lost the one person that truly... By Tyrion.
Yeah.
And so that's a bummer. It's a real big bummer, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, they do some quick banter. Jaime says, they tell me you almost set the city on fire, and Tyrion's like, that's a filthy lie. I only burned the river. And he asks, "Are you here to kill me?" And Jaime's like, "Well, no. Like, why would I do that? Although maybe I should just leave you here if you're going to be so discourteous about it." And Tyrion's like, "Yeah, no, Cersei's not just going to let me rot down here." And he's like, "You're right. Like, you're supposed to be beheaded tomorrow." And so, nope, I intervened before then. And Tyrion's like, "Oh, sick." And yeah, it would have been up in the old tourney grounds. And Tyrion's like, "Oh, would there have been food? Like, are they gonna make a whole show of it, or what?" We don't really learn whether or not that would be the case because Jaime's like, "I'm rescuing you." So
right, we're getting the fuck out of here. So don't worry about that.
And Tyrion, because he's Tyrion's like, "Who says I need rescuing?" And Jaime's like, "I forgot how fucking annoying you are." And like, valid. That's
right. Shut the fuck up and let's go. Like, and he tells him that. Like, so you're staying then? So you want to get yourself out of this bitch? And Tyrion starts leaving. They learn that it's like 3 hours after midnight, early in the morning, still dark as fuck. There's some guards laying around, and Tyrion's like, "Did you kill them? Are they dead?" They're not dead.
Supposedly they're asleep. The eunuch, Varys, doused their wine with dream wine, right? Sweet sleep. Sweet sleep, that's it. And so, supposedly, they're just sleeping, but Jaime doesn't know for sure. Varys is waiting back at the stairs, dressed up in a Septon's robe. Tyrion will be exiting via the sewers and from there to the river where a galley is waiting. And Varys has agents in the free cities who will make sure Tyrion doesn't want for money. And perhaps he should find a way to make himself a little less conspicuous because Cersei's never going to stop looking for him. And Tyrion has a laugh at that, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." And Jaime suggests maybe a change of name, like, and Tyrion's like, "Yeah, sure. So when the faceless men come, I'll be like, yeah, no, my name's fucking Ralph. You have the wrong dwarf, because that'll work."
Sorry, it's the wrong. There's a different noseless, crippled, smart-ass blonde dwarf who, like, right. I just think it's a funny jape in the context of things because he should. Regardless of whether
he's
or not
gonna, he does. Hugh Hill will become a thing.
But it's a funny just.
But he's right. Like if Cersei sends the faceless man, which is like the level of angry that she is, then Tyrion really doesn't have a chance, and a name change ain't gonna do shit. But regardless, Jaime kneels down, gives him a kiss on each cheek, and Tyrion sincerely thanks him for his life. And Jaime says that it was a debt that he owed, and Tyrion notes that his voice sounds a little strange, and he's like, are you good?" And Jaime's like, "Yeah, no, some doors best left closed." And Tyrion's like, "Ooh, I'm so afraid of what's behind it. Tell me." And Jaime tells him. Tysha, Tysha. And as soon as the name is said, Tyrion's gut fucking tightens, and Jaime's like, "Yeah, she was always what she claimed to be."
That has to be just hearing Jaime say her name after this long, like for him to have that
right. Nothing good follows.
Like nobody knows her name besides them, and so he had to have assumed that based on the lie that Jaime told, that Jaime just thought or assumed she was a whore as well. No reason for her to remember the name. So when the name actually comes out, oh fuck, he remembered her actual name, and oh god, oh no.
"She was no whore. I never bought her for you. That was a lie that father commanded me to tell. She was what she seemed to be, a crofter's daughter chance met on the road." And Tyrion's like, "Oh shit." And he says, "Father said that she only married you for the gold of Casterly Rock, and that's all she wanted, which made her no different from a whore. So it wouldn't be a lie, not truly." So Jaime got manipulated by Tywin, and that you required a sharp lesson, and that you would learn it and thank me later. And Tyrion, of course, is fucking irate, and he's like, "He gave her to his guards, a barracks full, and made me watch." And then he thinks, "And I took her too after." And Jaime's like, "I never knew he would do that. You must believe me." And Tyrion throws that back in his face and is like, "Oh, must I? Why would I believe anything you have to say? She was my wife." And Tyrion hits him. It's a backhand. Jaime's kind of on his haunches, so it does knock him on his ass, but it's a fun little moment where, for the first time in his life, Tyrion knocks someone into the dirt by hitting them. And Jaime is like, "All right, I earned that, sure." And Tyrion's like, you've earned a lot more than that, you and our sweet sister and our loving father. But a Lannister always pays their debts, I promise you. And he walks away, and then he comes to a locked door, which is just Tyrion's luck. He still is reliant on Jaime to have to open the door, because Jaime has the turnkey's keys. And he does. And Tyrion tells him to use them, so Jaime does. And Jaime steps through, and he's like, are you coming? And Tyrion's like, not with you. Not if you're going. And so
now, I honestly do, as a fucking adult, granted, no adult in fucking Game of Thrones acts like a fucking adult, but I do think that Tyrion is overreacting a little harshly towards considering the Tywin situation, knowing that Tywin is a manipulative cunt, and that Jaime was a young kid who was essentially groomed into, you have to no, you're telling this lie, fuck you. The punch, the knocking him over, yes, even a little bit of angst, but the like, I hope you fucking die. It's a little bit.
He's not in his right mind. He's been sitting in these cells for all he feels right now is scorn from his family. This is the one person he thought would never betray him, giving him the ultimate betrayal. So he's not in his right mind, and
in that, like, he definitely, like, I get that,
right, it's
like,
not
it's expected, but I do think that it's
rational, and
it's unfortunate because it is that Jaime trying to
come clean.
And we see it, that Tyrion does also understand that because he's going to go and shoot Tywin in the fucking...
And immediately he wants to beg Jaime to come back and tell him the truth. Right. But Tyrion's fucking hurt by this because his family hating him is currently what he's sitting in. That's why he's in these cells. That's why, and so it's the last.
And it is obviously necessary for his story going forward. This huge depression he's leaving.
Well, yeah, but even beside the point of that, it's just this whole book has been the deconstruction of Tyrion and any ties to his family. It's the hatred of Cersei in him and the hatred of Tywin in him. Jaime was the only good thing he had in his family. And one of Tyrion's biggest sources of pain in his life was what happened to Tysha. And now to find out that Jaime, the one who, like, basically was like, hey, go comfort her, and, like, I'll take care of the brigands,
was also
is now the one who set it up and told him she was a whore and all that. And so, rational, no, but I absolutely think it's understandable and warranted, his reaction. So he tells Jaime, give me the keys and I'll go by myself. And then he asks him, Jaime, can you fight left-handed? And Jaime's like, yeah, rather less than you, I'm afraid. And he says, good, then we'll be well matched should we ever meet again, the cripple and the dwarf. And so right there, Tyrion's throwing down the gauntlet. Should they ever meet again, it will be to the death. And so I'm very excited for whenever they do.
Now, I do believe that, again, while irrational, and I think that's a good way to push it, irrationally, unacceptable what he's doing. An irrational overreaction. But that's why it's okay, acceptable, understandable, the overreaction is because of the mental state of him. When Jaime now asks, did you do it? Did you kill Joffrey? Is essentially what he's asking. That, I think, is where it pushes Tyrion over the edge of the, like, you're the one person who should know that I would never have fucking done that. This is Jaime being an
idiot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jaime should have let it go and just given him the keys and been like, I'm sorry, I hope you survive and live a good life, and that's it. Asking this absolutely pushes Tyrion over the edge, and now it's you of all people should know that I'm not going to hurt the children. Regardless of how vile Joffrey was, he was still a child. It was still Cersei's influence. It was still being given a kingdom at the age of fucking 16 when Cersei's your mother and Robert the abuser was your father.
Well, that one of the last times that these two did see each other was in Winterfell when they were eating breakfast with the children, and like how sweet he was to Tommen and Myrcella.
I wonder whose side you're on sometimes. And the brother you wound me. And so, yeah, it says the question, because Jaime hands him the keys and says, I gave you the truth. You owe me the same. Did you do it? Did you kill him? Meaning Joffrey. And it says the question was another knife twisting in his guts. So it absolutely is another betrayal by Jaime of the, like, you should just know I didn't.
Right, and he even mentions did you know that he hired somebody to slit the throat of
Joffrey
Bran Stark?
Would have been a worse king than Aerys ever was, which is because, like, Joffrey was king, so he was already pretty bad.
Pushing
but,
those
like,
boundaries,
give him
right.
a couple more years, and he already would have surpassed Aerys, which that's Tyrion twisting the knife of the king you killed. Remember him?
This one was worse.
This one was gonna be worse, and it was your own son. And then, he's, did you know that he stole Robert's dagger and gave it to the cat's paw to slit Bran Stark's throat? Did you know? And Jaime was like, actually, as dumb as I am,
I did suspect
I kind of thought that might be the case. And he says, well, a son takes after his father. Ouch. Joffrey would have killed me as well once he came into his power for the crime of being short and ugly, of which I am so conspicuously guilty. And Jaime's like, you still haven't answered my question. Did you or did you not kill him? And he calls him a dumb, stupid, poor, blind, cripple fool. Must I spell out everything for you? Very well. Cersei's a lying whore. She's been fucking Lancel and Osmond Kettleblack and probably Moonboy for all I know. And I am the monster they all say I am. Yes, I killed your vile son. And he makes himself grin, which I love the horror in this chapter. And Tyrion thinks it must have been a hideous sight to see in the gloom down here. But Jaime turns and stalks off without a word. This is it?
That baby's so stupid.
Does he believe
She's so
him?
dumb. So, yes, he does. But he's also so dumb because he was in the courtroom when Tyrion did the I wish I could be the monster you all think I am.
Mm-hmm.
You saw all of it. And so and I love the difference in embracing this specific where it's you all think I could, to him saying I am. That's it. I fucking am that monster. That's who I am.
Well, now you've made me into it, and you especially here in the dark here.
Right.
With all of this line of questioning. Because you're right. Oberyn, who knows really nothing of, like, the person that Tyrion is and all that, had the wherewithal to be like, yeah, you appear so guilty, you have to be innocent. Like, no one's that
There's no
stupid.
way that there's this
and
much
so, like,
evidence.
Jaime, you really should have, like, picked up. You were at the trial. You've seen all the horseshit evidence that was laid before him. Like, no, clearly Tyrion didn't have anything to do with this, but your asking has now confirmed for him that there's nothing left for him in his
I
family.
think that Jaime currently, in this moment, does believe, yes, Tyrion had something to do with the murder, but I think we'll, learn later on that he kind of starts having the doubt holes poked in that as he sees as we know that the Lancel and Osmond Kettleblack and probably Moonboy is going to weasel its way into his brain.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be because it's poking holes that Tyrion didn't actually fucking do that. She probably is fucking Lancel and Osmond Kettleblack and Moonboy for all I know.
Tyrion watches him go, wanting to call out and tell him it wasn't true and beg his forgiveness, but then thinks of Tysha and just watches him holding his silence until eventually he can hear his footsteps no longer. Then he turns and waddles off to look for Varys. He finds the eunuch lurking in the dark of a twisting turnpike stair, garbed in moth-eaten brown robes with a hood that hid the paleness of his face. I don't know why this is so creepy to me, but just Varys just standing there lurking on the stair.
I also did want to mention the whole, him, eye for an eye to Jaime, he was gonna tell him, but then remembered Tysha. It's just that, once again, the perpetuating, the keeping to the wheel, keeping lies over, oh, you came at me, now I'm gonna come at you, instead of, forgiving each other type shit. But yeah, I agree. I love this section of we're going into the part that's below the dark part.
Yeah,
this is the scary part.
This part's
it's
scary.
So cool. It's so fun.
I love it. It's scary, but I don't like it. It's scary. It's really scary. So Varys is like, oh, you were gone for so long, I feared something had gone amiss. And Tyrion's like, what could possibly have gone amiss? like, it's just me and my brother now, literally, like, to the death at this point, if we ever see each other again. And the fact that you little bitch didn't come during my trial. And Varys is like, I couldn't. The queen had me watched night and day. I didn't dare to help
my
you.
life for yours, so, like, sorry, bro, but what did you want me to do?
And then Tyrion says, well, you're helping me now. And Varys is like, am I? Oh, ha 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 ha. And he giggles, and it says it seemed very out of place in this place of cold stone and echoing darkness. I don't like that. I don't like the hearing the laugh, like,
echoing
in here.
Just bouncing. I do want to point out that this is almost an identical conversation that he had with Ned Stark, that Varys had with Ned back in the day when he was in the Black Cells.
Yeah.
Why didn't you come for me? Well, what am I going to do? Pull out my dagger against 400 armed guards? What do you want me to do? Stand against the queen and tell her, hey, I also am trying to sneak your brother out? Like, shut up and just listen to what I'm saying. Don't you think that's funny? Laugh with me, Tyrion.
Yeah. Tyrion says, Varys, you're cold and slimy as a slug. Has anyone ever told you? You did your best to kill me. Perhaps I ought to return the favor. And Varys sighs, and he's like, the faithful dog is kicked, and no matter how the spider weaves, he's never loved. But if you slay me here, I fear for you, my lord. You may never find your way back to the daylight. These tunnels are full of traps for the unweary. And I don't think it's the traps that he's indicating would kill Tyrion. Like, there's things here in the dark that I don't like, and so...
Yeah, it's fun to think, because I honestly don't believe that there's anything beyond traps. I do think there's traps, but I don't think that this place has that magical stuff included. But who the fuck knows?
Lives down here.
But I do like the way that Varys uses the dark unknown, and you don't know any better to weave the fear into the moment.
He's the shadow on the wall right now. He's increasing his power by being like, yeah, I'm the only one who can lead you through this. And so Tyrion's like, unweary, I'm the weariest man who ever lived. You helped to see to that. And then he's like, so tell me what happened to my innocent little wife. And Varys is like, I don't know. No sign of her in King's Landing or anywhere since the night of the wedding, nor of Sir Dantos Hollard, who certainly should have turned up drunk somewhere, and they were both seen the night of the wedding on the Serpentine Stair. But after that, nothing. So not even Dantos' body has turned up, which we know was lit afire, and so no one found any remnants of that boat.
Right, that thing sank, and he's at the bottom of the Black River there, just fish food. So
Varys gives him a gentle tug at his sleeve and pulls him down into the stair and says, we must away. Your path is down. And Tyrion thinks that's no lie, at least. And, symbolism. So they set off, and it's very cold here. A damp, bone-chilling cold that starts to make Tyrion shiver, and he asks, what dungeons are these? And we get the little history lesson.
Yep, that's what I put, is that we get a big old history lesson here.
Maegor decreed 4 levels of dungeon for his castle. The upper level, there's the large cells for common criminals. They have narrow windows set in the high wall. The second level has the smaller cells where highborn captives are held. They have no windows but torches that cast light through the bars. The third level cells are smaller. The doors are wood. The black cells, men call them. That was where Tyrion was kept and Eddard Stark before him. But there is a level lower still, and once a man is taken down to the 4th level, he never sees the sun again, nor hears a human voice, nor breathes a breath free of agonizing pain. Maegor had the cells on the 4th level built for torment.
So I think that that was what they were trying to portray with Cersei when she chained the snakes in the show. I don't think it was done very well because there was too much light. This place is horrifying. The description of it, the reasoning for it is fucking sick. Just this demented king. He's like, yo, I want one secret level that's purely just for tormenting the enemies of me.
Varys is also playing it very well, because right as he finishes saying this, they reach the bottom of the steps and an unlighted door is opened before them. It just says an unlighted door opened before them. So, it opened at their approach? Question mark. Who knows? And Varys says this is the 4th level. And so it's like, yeah, that's where we're going. We're going through the agonizing level, the place where people can't breathe without being in agonizing pain.
That it makes me think of, and while I'm not a fan of those type of shows, but the Ghost Hunter type shows where they go to like the crazy psychiatric ward where it's like, these are the worst places in the basement of this place, and it's known that this terrible thing occurred, and like they're about to walk through there without having night vision glasses and shit. It's just Varys, and he offers his hand to Tyrion. He's like, we're gonna have to hold hands. And honestly, like, I'd be too scared not to hold his hand, so like, don't blame you. But at the same time, Tyrion is tentative and has this thought that I really like, where he mentions that he arrived here at a King's Hand, and now he's leaving King's Landing, scuttling away in the darkness like a rat.
I hate it.
I love the idea of a spider leading a rat away, but I don't think that Tyrion actually is a rat.
No, he's a lion. Yeah, give me your hand, my lord. It is safer to walk in darkness here. There are things you would not wish to see. Hate that. Hate the fuck out of that. What is there that he wouldn't want to see? Like, acts of torture? Not really gonna bother Tyrion.
Well, it's that
Lannister.
like he's read scientific
right.
anatomy books, like how body surgeries have occurred, things like he's a learned man. He's constantly in books.
Some of them have been done
history.
on his orders. Like, he's had men butchered and put into stews. Like, what the fuck is down here that it's better to walk in darkness? Like, ew. It has the vibe of like, oh no, there are things that are attracted to the light type of.
I also think that once he's through the dark, scary part later on, when he's climbing up the ladder towards his father and Shae, part of Tyrion has this, well, now that the scary part's behind me, that motherfucker was lying. This is just, he didn't want me to see all the little alcoves where he can go up and hear all the conversations where he plants his little bird. So I think it's more of that in this place than supernatural elements. Again, here in King's Landing, I don't think that there's nearly as much of the magical hauntings as will be at the Wall, north of the Wall, even up in the northern parts of the country. Not that there can't be or anything like that. The dragons
Qyburn
are
about
some
to
crazy
resurrect
shit.
Some Robert Strong.
And I think that he's definitely an anomaly coming in, being all wild.
Yeah,
but I think it's more hidden alcoves, and I think that Tyrion, as a skeptic like me, is now that, again, once he's past the safety of the tormented Cthulhu horrors that are probably grasping at him every step of the way down here, is like, no, none of that was real. That was just Varys playing with my fear, and actually he didn't want me to see all these easy little cubby holes that you're listening into shit on.
It's also it's the metaphor here of Tyrion is now descending into true madness and darkness, and kind of Varys is the guide out, which is not great. Varys has plans for the realm and for things, and so him being the only guide Tyrion has is alarming. Tyrion, of course, hangs back a moment. Varys had already betrayed him once. Who knew what game the eunuch was playing, and what better place to murder a man than down in the darkness? So already Tyrion's paranoia is playing with him. There's no purpose in taking him down to this level to murder him, really. Like, if Varys was going to kill him,
He wouldn't have probably helped Jaime with getting into because he would have just left Jaime there and just actually sent somebody to go kill Tyrion in his cell type shit. Yes, 100%.
He thinks that Jaime wouldn't be afraid, and then he remembers what Jaime had done to him, and he's like, oh right, I can't use him as like my be brave thing anymore because I fucking hate that guy. I hate it. And so he lets himself be led, and Varys walks quickly from time to time, and I hate it, just whispering, like, careful, my lord, there are 3, like, shh, shut the fuck up, Varys, like, things can hear us.
That's funny, I hadn't thought of it that way, because I was like, that's what I appreciate about you, Varys, is these little, like, I'd be stumbling and worried I'm gonna fall into a hell pit.
I hate how confident Varys is down here. Like, I just don't like these tunnels at all. And then, yes, he has the thought of, I arrived and now I leave like a rat holding hands with a spider. A light appears ahead of them, too dim to be daylight, and after a while he sees that it's a doorway closed off by an iron gate, of which Varys somehow has the key? Question mark?
Yeah, right.
So they go through this into a small round chamber. There are 5 other doors off of this room, each barred in iron. There's an opening in the ceiling as well, and an ornate series of rungs set into the wall leading up. So where this is the like focal point of the castle. This is where
the
spokes off of the main wheel, because we know that this ladder leads up to the Tower of the Hand, and so like that's sort of the epicenter here, and from there all the information kind of goes outward. And so dollars to donuts, one of these tunnels leads to Chataya's.
Oh, absolutely, has to be one of them.
And
definitely.
So it's just fun.
Or at least outside the castle,
you're right,
near her place,
like, there's,
or down to Flea Bottom, and one up to Baelor.
An ornate brazier stood to one side, fashioned in the shape of a dragon's head. The coals in the beast's yawning mouth had burnt down to embers, but still glowed. Who's doing that?
The little birds.
Who's doing that?
Varys has little fucking, slaves, but employees or whatever that just keep his stuff.
I don't like that either.
It's the same, because to me it's that, Varys can't see in the dark unless he can. Maybe he's got some magic, some glamour. So he's not worried about setting off traps. He's so comfortable. He's probably just brushing his finger along the wall right there. Knows exactly, because there's nothing to fear here.
Or similar to Arya, he counts, it's 2 turns here, 3, but right, I think you're right.
22 steps.
No traps.
And so it's not, to me, it's all about keeping Tyrion in the dark, because he wants to have the, information is what's powerful to Varys. And so keeping you ill-informed about what actually the layout is down here in these tunnels and how simple it really is. Oh, we're on this spoke. We just follow the beam to the center of the circle and we're there. And then from there we take this door, because it's clear which, the third door from the brazier, boom, that's out to where you need to go. Down here's where I need to go, and over here's where. And so I do think that there's a lot of fun bullshit mysticism glamored into this by Varys himself.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that he's got it. He was like, yo, let that die down a little bit extra tonight, because I'm going to have a guest. Normally that thing's almost bright as fuck,
right,
where they can just walk in. There's actually 3 lounge chairs on the way up here that had people sitting in them. They just blew out the candles as they came through, and then when they go, they light it again and restart up their dice game, and they're like,
it's 1,000 times worse knowing that there's little fucking children running around these tunnels. Right. I hate that.
I like to think that once they leave, they all turn the lights back on, and it's like the Ninja Turtles movie where there's kids smoking and playing cards and doing all sorts of crazy shit for Shredder.
It's the little birds have men on fucking torture racks, and
sure, it looks like a Euron lined death rack all the way down all the halls with everybody just staring at them.
If the lights came on while they're walking, there's just 90 children with daggers just ready to stab. It's the black-eyed kids.
Right, there's one standing in front of the body, each body aligning the wall, and
hate it.
Yeah.
So, Tyrion is like, wait, I recognize this place. Shae told me about this. We're beneath the Tower of the Hand. And Varys confirms that. He says yes. And then it says, frozen hinges screamed in protest as Varys pulled open a long closed door. Flakes of rust drifted to the ground. I hate the door screaming. Now, I don't like that.
Can we assume that they either never use that.
They don't use this one.
This door doesn't get used. Because Varys would want to make sure that he's not actually, as much as I joked about everybody down here rolling dice and shit, they want to be silent when they're creeping through the walls.
We hear
and
how
tunnels.
thin the walls and tunnels are.
And so they will keep the ones they use regularly well-oiled
and the flakes of rust falling.
The flakes, show that it's deteriorating.
This isn't for show and tell to ooh, the door is scary. This door doesn't get fucking used.
We don't open this one.
And so this is like an escape thing going on that's outside the norm. This is not the usual traversal passages that for Varys.
And so Tyrion then is like, well, hold up though. I think I have something I need to go into. How far up is my room up there? Well, it's not your room anymore, but you don't have time for that.
So Varys wants this. He wants Tyrion to go up.
I think he's all for it. I don't know that he would have necessarily.
He planned this.
But why would he, like, you're telling me that.
Why would he even confirm that it's the Tower of the Hand?
You're not telling me that there's 100 other ways to where you need to go that doesn't go through the.
Because Tyrion identifies it via the mosaic,
on the floor,
the dragon tiles in black and red, the three-headed dragon, Targaryen symbolism. And so, like, Varys couldn't just be like, oh, no, it was made in Maegor the Cruel's time. Like, he had these at every junction. There's 30 more just like it, which I don't doubt for a second isn't true. I bet you there are these tiled mosaics all over down here. And so, the fact that the brazier is just bright enough to be able to make that out, and all these things, like Varys, if he didn't want Shae to know... And obviously, you know, I don't think when he took Shae here, he was planning on Tyrion killing Tywin, as is about to happen. But this right here,
yeah, I don't know if
feels planned to me. This feels absolutely like him leading and being like, oh yeah, you know what's up there? That's where your father is.
Yeah, I don't think it's a planned thing, personally. I think that, sure, he's like, fine, you know, like, once Tyrion said he's going, I think he was aware what was happening and wasn't opposed to it, but I don't think he planned it ahead of time.
I have business above. How far? 230 rungs, but really we should... sorry. No, you're gonna... Just the, like...
How passive he is and how he...
Yeah. 230 rungs, my lord. Make sure you ring the bell 3 times and it'll open the fucking thing in the fireplace. There will be a crossbow hanging to your left if you need it. But, like, don't go. Please don't go.
Yeah, it is a funny... Because he even does the... Yeah, but it doesn't just put you at risk. It puts me. And Tyrion's like, dude, the one thing that I care for less than my own self right now is your life. So, like...
Tyrion says 230 rungs and then the tunnel to the left, but hear me. And Tyrion cuts him off. How far to the bedchamber? And Tyrion's already beginning to climb. And he says, no more than 60 feet. Keep one hand on the wall as you go. You'll feel the doors. The bedchamber is the third.
But don't go.
This is folly, my lord. Your brother has given you your life back. Would you cast it away and mine with it? Well, like, one, Varys... You're going to vanish into the darkness down here the second.
Right, no matter what.
You already look like a fucking septon. You don't even look like yourself right now. And then 2, as you said, Tyrion's like, the only thing I care more or less about my life is yours, so, like, fuck off. And Tyrion begins to climb. This I feel like this is what Varys wanted. Like, he was like, fucking do it. Go get him, Tyrion. Whether... It ends with Tywin dead, Tyrion dead, Shae dead, all 3 of them dead, Tyrion recaptured. It's that chaos that he wants to sow for Vagon.
I don't know, because part of me also thinks that he genuinely wanted Tyrion to go east and help Dany, and so I don't think that he necessarily
Not Dany, he doesn't want to help Dany anymore. He's
right,
Vagon.
Excuse me, Vagon. I think he genuinely wants Tyrion there to counsel Vagon, and so I don't think he expects Tyrion to return from this. Although I guess that's kind of weird just because why would he wait this fucking long for Tyrion? Because he's down there for quite a bit waiting for him. But unless that's just in Tyrion's mind where Tyrion's like, this is the most intense things of his life. He feels like it's taking 2 hours, but really it was 14 minutes. Mm-hmm. Like he was like, dun, dun, choke a bitch, bah, bah, shoot a bitch, dun, dun, back down the ladder. Here I am, Tyrion. Varys is like, so, what, did you just go up and take a shit? Sure did.
Yeah.
But, yeah, who knows?
Tyrion begins to ascend into the dark. At first, he can kind of see each rung, but as he goes higher and higher, the black grew thicker, it said. Which, again, it's his kind of mental state deteriorating. He's going deeper and deeper into the black, into the madness. By 30, his arms were trembling with the strain of pulling. I mean, again, remember, he's been in a cell. Probably minimal food, minimal activity. He pauses to catch his breath, and he sees the circle of light far below, and he begins climbing again. By 50, his legs burned. The ladder felt endless. He keeps climbing. By 80, his back was a dull agony, yet still he climbed. He could not have said why. He doesn't know what he's doing or why yet. Yet he feels compelled to. At 230, the shaft is black as pitch, but he could feel warm air flowing from the tunnel to his left, like the breath of some great beast. Martin, you beautiful son of a bitch. I hate it. It's terrifying fucking wordplay here. Like, making the bowels of this castle, the depths of it, feel like some horrifying living creature is wonderful. So he pokes his foot off and finds the tunnel. It is even more cramped than the shaft. Any man of normal size would have to crawl on hands and feet, which is probably why Varys uses children. Tyrion, however, is short enough to walk upright, and he says at last, a place made for dwarves. Not dwarves, Tyrion, children. His boots scuff against the stone as he's walking. He's counting his steps. He's feeling for gaps. He begins to hear voices, muffled, indistinct, then clearer, and he listens more closely and hears two of his father's guardsmen joking about the imp's whore, saying how sweet it would be to fuck her, and how bad she must want a real cock in place of the dwarfs. So they don't know Tywin's fucking her.
I feel like they do know. Like, it's
well, then almost... they would be like, then it would be, they must want our young bull cocks and not that old man's cock.
I don't know. It's almost like that, or they're in reverence of Tywin, where it's, oh no, that's why she's here, is because they wanted the real thing. I feel like if they were in
reverence, they wouldn't be talking about fucking her then.
Sure.
It'd be the like, no, she's got a real man now.
Yeah, then I suppose that, but to me it's that, like, they saw him bringing her in there, and they're like, yeah, she must have wanted some real stuff going on in there. What I wouldn't give to have a piece of that too, but that's Tywin.
I took it as like a, no one knows Tywin. They know Shae is in Tywin's room, because clearly that's probably why they're discussing
That's
it.
the only thing I'm saying, is that they know that they
don't think that he's fucking her because of Tywin's holier-than-thou fucking persona. That they're still convinced, like, oh no, he's just
questioning
her sharply.
Sure.
Like, holy shit.
I mean, they are pretty daft. So
yeah, clearly.
That probably makes more sense.
And so then they start talking about how Tyrion will die on the morrow and how he'll weep like a woman and beg for mercy. It's Lum and Lester, by the way. Tyrion's able to identify them both. Lester figures he would face the axe brave as a lion, being a Lannister. And they begin to bet boots on it. Their new Lester's new boots. And said, so they're, exchanging. And Tyrion can hear every word of this as he begins to move on. And he starts thinking, small wonder Varys didn't want me coming up this ladder. Because now I know how he does it. How he gets all his fucking secrets. Little birds indeed. Like, ha ha ha. And then he comes to the third door and fumbles for a long time before his fingers brush an iron hook set between two stones. When he pulls on it, it opens a secret passage. There's a rumble as loud as an avalanche, and a dull square of orange light opens, and it's opening in the hearth. The hearth of the Tower of the Hand. He almost laughs. The fireplace, has some flames in it.
He even looked at the fireplace when he was looking for the secret entrance back when he was searching.
And so he steps through and finds himself in what had once been his bedchamber. He stands for a moment, breathing in the silence, and, he's wondering if anybody heard. And then he hears, my lord, from a woman. And he thinks, that might have hurt me once when I still felt pain, which, edgy as fuck. The first step is the hardest, but when he reaches the bed and Tyrion...
The first step is the hardest.
Well, he's not angsty anymore. Well, he's edgelordy, but he's not angsty.
Now he's just insane.
He just doesn't feel pain no more.
Right. Psychopath.
Yep.
Got it.
And so he pulls the draperies aside, and there she is with her sleepy little smile. It died when she saw him. And she pulls the blankets up to her chin as if that would protect her. And he asks, were you expecting someone taller, sweetling? And tears, this is Shae, of course. Tears fill her eyes. I never meant those things I said. The queen made me. Please, your father frightens me so. She sat up, letting the blanket slide down, and this is where Tyrion sees that she's naked, but for the chain of linked golden hands around her neck, which he seems to take, and I absolutely take, as the confirmation that this isn't just against her will type stuff.
Right, she's wearing a gift almost. It's that Tywin and her, probably playfully, she took his little and was like, come and take your hand, right, the charm back. Let's see what you got.
Also, makes me revile Tywin in the, like, you're being playful with a whore.
Right.
Like,
because that, to me, it's this...
You're giving your hand of
his,
office.
Mine. You're mine. Wear my necklace. You're mine. You belong to the hand of the king.
And you know she's calling him my giant of Lannister.
Right.
And all of that shit we discussed during the trial. And, like, again, I don't doubt that Cersei did make her say something.
Approached her initially.
But Shae went the extra mile to bring up he made me call him my giant and things like that, which she didn't need to. She could have confirmed that it happened.
We fucked, and then I saw him plotting with Sansa to murder.
He fell in love with me. Like, he loved me, and I didn't love him would have been enough. Right. But she reveled in the, like, telling of the, like, oh no, he made me call him my giant because he's a little dwarf bitch and fucking has a tiny little stunted dick. And so, yeah, the chain of gold hands sends Tyrion over the edge, and he says, all the time in the black cell I sat waiting to die, I kept remembering how beautiful you were, in silk or rough spun or nothing at all. And Shae says, my lord will be back soon. You should go, or did you come to take me away? And Tyrion asks, did you ever like it? And he cups her cheek, remembering all the times he'd done this before, and all the other times he'd touched her, and all the other times they made love, or at least what he thought was making love. And he asks, did you ever like my touch? And she says, more than anything, my giant of Lannister. And he thinks that was the worst thing you could have said, sweetling.
That and, like, her saying, did you come to take me away? He tried multiple times, you stupid bitch. He told you to leave. Varys offered you fucking everything to like, you wanted the wealth. They could have given you the wealth somewhere safe.
She wanted to play the game.
You wanted to play the game.
Yep.
So are you here to take me away? No. That time is long since passed. Yep. I'm here to send you away.
I think that one's almost afraid. Like, are you here to take me away? Like, are you fucking gonna, like, make me your captive now and, like, actually treat me like a abused sex worker like they usually are in this world?
I feel like
now.
she was still pleading there, and it was take me away. Not so much.
Well, I think she's kind of, phrasing it that way and trying to hope against hope that he'll buy it. But I do think that there's like I've reached the position. I've reached the position that I'm happy with. Like, I had him.
I'm the true hand of the king.
Right. Now I've got the real... I mean, I'm the king's whore now.
Right.
Like,
I had Tywin Lannister, the junior. Now I've got the real
The
Tywin
one who
Lannister.
Actually runs the realm.
Right.
Yeah. And so his hand twists into his father's chain and tightens, digging into her neck. And he thinks of the song, for hands of gold are always cold, but a woman's hands are warm. And... it says he gave the cold hands another twist as the warm ones beat away his tears.
Cold hands.
And so...
It must be a Lannister.
Way to step on the poignant moment. That is Tyrion killing Shae and her smacking the shit out of him as she struggles and suffocates, beating away his tears as he clearly is upset about having to kill her, but feels he has no other option. So, afterward, he finds Lord Tywin's dagger on the bedside table, shoves it through his belt. There's a lion-headed mace, a poleaxe, and a crossbow on the wall. He decides the poleaxe too clumsy inside a castle. It also, like, he's a little guy, and so I would assume that that's tough for him to wield. The mace is too high to reach, but a large wooden iron chest had been placed against the wall directly under the crossbow. Isn't that interesting? Varys? No? I don't know. He climbs up, pulls down the bow, the leather quiver packed with quarrels, jams a foot into the stirrup, and knocks a bow. Jaime had lectured him on the drawbacks of the crossbow, and if Lum and Lester emerged from wherever they were talking, he'd only have time to shoot once, and he thinks he'll take at least one of them down with him.
But why would they dare enter this area? This is Tywin's fucking...
Even if they hear her screaming.
Right.
And struggling or crying or what have you.
You're not going to interrupt Tywin fucking Lannister.
So he waddles to the door, listens, then opens it. There's the lamp burning, but otherwise the hallway is empty. only the flame is moving, which I just think is a lot of fun. Perhaps if there is a god, if there is a R'hllor, I feel like this is certainly something he would want to be keeping an eye on, or perhaps even Melisandre.
Sure.
And so he finds his father where he knew he'd find him, which is an interesting. Why did Tyrion know he would be in the privy? I don't know. But seated in the dimness of the privy tower, his bedrobe hiked up around his hips. I really do like the setting of this, the fact that it's the noble Tywin Lannister in the most ignoble
vulnerable position,
taking a shit. Like,
I had a thought there, but it fluttered away. So
Tyrion gives him a mocking half bow, says, "My lord," and Tyrion. And it says if he was afraid, Tywin Lannister gave no hint of it.
Yeah, so it's the fact that he's seeing him in this situation. I don't think it's even that big a deal anymore for Tyrion, because seeing what he had clearly been doing with Shae, completely shattered.
You are just a man.
You're just a shitty.
Yeah.
You're like, on top of the fact that he got the truth from just below.
A shitty man.
He got the truth from Jaime just before about the Tysha lie.
About the lie.
Then he comes up and finds out. Wait, so you've been whoring your whole fucking.
You do like whores. Yeah.
You just think that because you keep it more secret.
Literally, everyone has believed you haven't had a woman since Mother's death.
Right.
And that's horseshit. And always has been.
And so, yeah, he's coming into this like, oh, yeah, you're just a fucking dude who shits. Me too. You motherfucker. And so nothing you say will he ever believe at this point. And so it doesn't matter. Like, so it's so easy for Tyrion to pick up on the word whore when he's saying it, because he's not hearing what you have to say, Tywin. He knows that you're full of shit.
Tywin asks, "Who released you from your cell?" And Tyrion answers, "I'd love to tell you, but I swore a holy oath." Holy diver!
Holy shit.
Yeah. The eunuch, his father, decided, "I'll have his head for this. Is that my crossbow? Put it down." And Tyrion asks, "Will you punish me if I refuse, father?" And like, what are you going to do? "This escape is folly. You are not to be killed, if that's what you fear. My intent was to send you to the wall, because that's any better. But I could not do it without Lord Tyrell's consent. Put down the crossbow, we'll go back to my chambers, and we'll talk of it." And Tyrion's like, "We can talk here just as well. Perhaps I don't choose to go to the wall. It's cold up there, and I believe I've had enough coldness from you. So tell me one thing, and I'll be on my way. One simple question, you owe me that much," which... that's the language Jaime, I owe you that. And then Jaime threw it back at him of the, you owe me
this much, yeah.
And so Tywin, though, says, "I owe you nothing." And Tyrion says, "You've given me less than that all my life, but you'll give me this. What did you do with Tysha?" And unlike Jaime, who bears the shame of it...
The fuck's a Tysha?
What the fuck is Tysha? And he doesn't say, he just says Tysha.
Yeah, I know.
And Tyrion thinks he does not even remember her name. And he says, "The girl I married." And he says, "Oh, yes, your first whore." And that's when Tyrion takes aim, says, "Say the next time you say that word, I will kill you."
See, and that I think is a huge difference that I almost skipped over. That him not recognizing the name doesn't just show his displeasure, distaste to it. It shows the guilt that Jaime is harboring this time
absolutely.
for that whole lie. Like, he knew, and it was eating away at him.
And it also how fucked up Tywin is to where she's not a whore, but that's where he associates, like, in his mind.
Oh, your first whore. Right. She wasn't a whore. He believed his own lie at this
right.
point.
He's convinced himself of it.
Oh, right. I forgot. She wasn't a whore.
His hatred for Tyrion is so deep-seated that it has bled over onto this woman, this innocent fucking woman who did nothing wrong, but he needs to keep up whatever fucking resentment it is that he has, whatever tie-up he has with whores and Tyrion and all that.
Tyrion could have just not killed his wife. That would have been the start, but...
Not kill... Oh, Joanne. I was like, what do you mean? He didn't kill Tysha, but I get you. And so Tywin says, "You don't have the courage to the I'll kill you." And Tyrion says, "Shall we find out? It's a short word. It seems to come so easily to your lips." And he says, "Tysha, what did you do with her after my little lesson?" And Tywin says, "I don't recall." I 100% believe that is actually the first truth we've had from Tywin in a long fucking time.
I think so, too.
Just like, I don't know, like I sent her away, and
yeah,
like
right.
I told my guardsmen to get her the fuck out of my sight.
Put her on a boat somewhere and send her away from my kingdom.
Tyrion says, try harder. Did you have her killed? His father pursed his lips, so he's actually thinking. There was no reason for that. She'd learned her place and had been well paid for her day's work, I seem to recall. I suppose the steward sent her on her way. I never thought to inquire. And Tyrion's like, okay, where? And he hears Tyrion's new life motto, wherever whores go. And that does it. There's the short little word. Tyrion's finger clenches, the crossbow wanged just as Lord Tywin began to rise. The bolt slams him just above the groin and sits him back down with a grunt.
So Tywin had just said that wherever the stewards probably handled it.
Yeah.
Whether that be a maester or just a steward, it brings up the question if that person was bound to their trade, the helping people, healing others, making sure, or strictly following Tywin Lannister's rule.
That one.
Because if the girl, Tysha, could have been cared for, like, as I picture almost this Maester Aemon caring for Gilly if she had just been abused type thing, like a Maester being like, oh, Tysha was just raped by that barracks.
Yeah.
Let me get you back.
Yeah, sure.
I'm
sure the steward was probably kindly.
And so I feel like that's something that a steward ain't gonna forget.
Yeah.
And so Tyrion probably could find a steward who was there during you remember that rape from back in 83?
Well, he can't now, but
well, right, he's gonna be.
I had the similar thinking, and I could very much so see it being Jaime who runs into the steward, who's like, oh yeah, there was the soft-spoken poor girl Tysha that I sent on a boat to Lys or on a boat here or there. But yeah, I like the descriptor that the blood seeped out around the shaft, dripping down into his pubic hair over his bare thighs, and you shot me, he said incredulously. It's just making it so indignant, like his son is watching his blood leak into his pubes, like down his dick, down his thighs. Like, it is the most ignoble way for Tywin Lannister to go out, and it's so poignant.
Right.
Like, you are just a man. You have pubes like everyone else. You're here shitting like everyone else.
Hiked up,
hiked up over your hips. You are incredulous. Like, you can't
that's
hardly
what I
believe
love,
it.
is the astonishment in Tywin with the where he's gotten himself to believe that he is
a god.
Yes,
yeah.
And so it's that you shot me.
His eyes glassy with shock, it says, and then Tyrion replies, "You were always quick to grasp a situation, my lord. That must be why you're hand of the king." And then Tywin delivers the "You are no son of mine," and he says, "Now that's where you're wrong, father. I believe I'm you writ small. Now do me a kindness and die quickly. I have a ship to catch." And for once, his father did as Tyrion asked. The proof was the sudden stench as his bowels loosened in the moment of his death. And Tyrion kind of quips, well, he was in the right place for it. And the smell that fills the chamber proves to Tyrion the inaccuracy of the jape, that Tywin Lannister indeed does not shit gold. Because, after all, he's just a fucking guy. He's just a guy.
Right.
And now he's a dead guy.
He's a dead guy. And that ends Tyrion for Storm of Swords.
God damn.
Not with his life, but with his father's.
And it kind of does end Tyrion's life, in a way.
It's that, we've seen it a lot throughout this book. Kill the boy, let the man...
And let Hugor Hill be born type of thing.
Let the alter ego, because Arya's, dipping out, going to become somebody else.
So yeah, bye-bye Tywin. I guess F for respects if you really feel the need to, but...
As an antagonistical villain that existed in the story, for sure. He was a terrible, terrible person and deserved his death.
His plot armor was his reputation, and, goddamn, you got to admire that, because, just by reputation alone, this dude, because look at how easy he died. Motherfucker, couldn't do shit.
A crossbow to the gut.
Couldn't do shit.
You got pinned to your toilet, bro.
And so, yeah, it was easy as hell to kill Tywin this whole time. Who knew? But because no one wanted to challenge him, no one ever did. And so, like, it was just pure rep that got him this far. And, like, you gotta respect it. Game recognized game. Like, shit.
Shae's dead.
Shae's dead. Deserved.
Choked out.
Yeah, you flew too close to the sun. And
so it's so funny to me because we had talked about him briefly, but she should have just followed suit of Bronn. Bronn is the epitome of...
He cashed out.
Yo, no, like, wait, you're going to make me a lord,
Yep.
I get a wife and a castle? I get a fucking
Yep.
I'm out.
Bronn
I'm out.
played the game until...
it.
Yep.
And he knew when he, you know, he didn't fly too close to the sun. He was like, actually, coasting right here's good. Can I just take mine and dip?
To go any further gets me in the crosshairs of the Queen, the crosshairs of Tywin Lannister.
It's that.
Like,
he saw the way the game was played and was like, I've played the game as far as I'm capable. I'm going to take what's mine and go and survive. So
Bronn is the, like, less... morally scrupulous Davos, whereas Davos is constantly of the, like, I've risen too high. Bronn rose just high enough and was like,
see ya.
Done.
Later.
I'm good.
And Shae didn't do that.
Nope.
Which is funny because her and Bronn spent a lot of time together because, you know, Tyrion and Bronn were such close friends. Not nearly, I think, as close as friends as they appear in the show.
Yeah.
But still tight. That's why he was asking him to... you know, fight for him there in the end.
To be clear, because I do think Shae is a great character, I just think that she is a fool in a lot of ways. I don't resent her trying to play the game and trying to get hers. I think she played the game horribly. I think she made her hand very well known as to what she was after and did it poorly. She just got lucky that she happened to land in with Tyrion, a very wounded man whose history with sex workers and whores specifically, because that's the word that triggers him, allowed her to get into where she is. I really, really, really wish we could have gotten, like, even a Cersei flashback to the conversation with Shae as to what was offered for the trial, like and how the relationship with Tywin came to be a thing, because I almost feel like Shae was offered an out on betraying Tyrion, or even just gold and gems, and then had to keep asking for more.
And that's what I was going to say, is that, again, it's entirely Shae's fault because she always bitched and complained. Tyrion, like, initially was outside the city. She wasn't happy with that. She didn't get to see, and again, in a healthy relationship, you should be able to spend time with your partner. When you're in this she wanted to be in the castle. Then she bitched about not having to be in the kitchen and was put up at a Sansa station. Like, it was always about her wanting more. It was written on the wall from the start that this was where she was going to end up. Yes, she'd get to sleep with the Hand of the King, multiple Hands of the King, the most powerful man in the Seven Kingdoms, Tywin Lannister, as is stated behind walls because of his tenacity and how shitty he is and is capable. But it's that she always kept reaching for more and never being happy with her station in life, which, you know, more power to you. But when you play the game terribly, that's what's going to happen eventually. Yep. And so, sucks to be, honestly, if Littlefinger was still in the capital, I think you would have been dead a long time ago, Shae. I think that Littlefinger would have been like, yeah, you're kind of dumb, bitch.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was kind of only Varys' guidance that was allowing her to live as long, because, like, he had a stake in Tyrion.
It's because of the Tyrion relationship only. It was, he saw how invested Tyrion was in Shae, but he was, I think, all for the, like, no, pay her off, because they offered her that out of Varys going, here's some money, get out.
I'll get you to the free cities where I actually have sway as well, and, like, can make sure that you're just
And
good.
She turned it down. And so, I mean, fun character, but you get what you deserve. You should have fucking...
Yeah, more so on this read-through, I feel inclined that this was... Because I was asking questions, I knew what I was thinking the whole time. I think Varys wanted Shae dead and wanted this to happen.
I agree. 100%.
She was the loose end that you need to tie up before we leave. And so I think Tywin was collateral damage and not intended. I think Shae absolutely was.
Well, it's that. All right. So in the alternate version of this story, he doesn't climb this ladder. Tywin lives, Shae lives. Tyrion leaves and thinks that fucking bitch Cersei, though, got her fingers on Shae and forced her and threatened her to lie to me. I have to get her out.
I have to. Like,
He's always going to be thinking about that.
Yep.
That, like, it was always, and especially after Jaime just dropped that bomb on him. Oh, my first wife wasn't a whore. Shae never was. She truly does love me.
Yep.
And she's the one who doesn't. And because he left without getting that resolution of seeing her in Tywin's bed, he doesn't understand. Oh, and so that would be a completely.
Yeah,
so I agree.
I think Varys maybe also wanted to be like, hey, Tywin isn't as without scruple as like presented. He is fucking whores, but I think it was go clean up your mess with Shae. We need because she knows me.
That's where I was going to say next. Is
we're tied
what if she
together.
tells Tywin, "Hey, well, Varys knows all these secret tunnels that you don't know about." Well, now Varys is going to get tortured to show because Tywin wants to know
where the
things.
tunnels are. Yeah,
right.
And so it's that 2-for-1 where it's that straight up. At least if you get caught, it's you getting caught. And everyone's like, oh, Tyrion's insane and wants to hurt his family again. And so he got out somehow and is going to try to kill Tywin and Shae, and he got caught. But he doesn't. He gets to kill Shae and Tywin, which I don't think Tywin is intended, but I don't think Varys is too upset about it either because he's got Fagon.
I also like the fact that Tyrion used the secret tunnels and stuff. It's going to make me think of the stories that were told about Sansa and how she, bit this fucker's head off and flew out the tower like a bat and shit. Tywin is this, or Tyrion's murdering him, sure, with a bow and arrow. How the fuck did he get in that tower?
Well, Cersei's going to lose her mind in Feast about it, where she's like, he's in the walls, he's in the walls.
And so I absolutely love that. That's terrifying image.
Well, yeah,
of
he is. Tyrion's now the monster creeping up out of the dark,
right? Especially after he
grinning at Jaime that way,
telling Jaime that he is a monster. It's just that fun. Like this stuff right here is what spawns those stories at the Night Fort with the Rat King and creatures and people.
The twisted little demon
monsters.
Monkey came up out of the fucking fireplace and killed Tywin. Like, yeah, it's absolutely folklore shit. Tyrion's a cryptid now.
Hell yeah.
Mothman.
And that's that for our friend Tyrion.
Bye,
as
Tyrion.
He makes his way.
We'll see you in dance when you're fucking
uncrated and unboxing mystery box
and sexually assaulting females, which isn't cool. But he's in a dark place, so we won't excuse it, but we will analyze it when we get there, and that's a good ways off.
Yeah. And so that's going to bring us to that. Like I said, we only have a few chapters left, so next will be Sam 5, and that will be Sam's final chapter, leading into Jon 12, Jon's final chapter after that. And that leaves Sansa and epilogue afterwards. If you would like to send us any comments, questions, anything else, I guess.
Why Shae fucking sucks at playing the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Without Manners, Brotherhood@gmail.com is one way. You can also comment on our Spotify, on our YouTube, on our everywhere, rate, review, go on iTunes and review us. We're all over the place. Any of the platforms that you like to listen to your podcasts on. We keep teasing. We're working on something special. I don't know how much we're revealing this episode yet.
I don't think this episode.
Not yet. I didn't think so. I think it's been a bit. But hard at work at that. And so stay tuned for those details. It's going to be fun. I think that's all I've got. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Great.
Fucking Christ. There's tunnels.
Under the... It's like the upside down.
I don't like it.
Not that that's doing
great
right
now.
Let's pretend like Season 2 was good. And there's tunnels under the ground.
Season 2 was good.
Right. Excuse me. My slip up there. There's tunnels under the whole fucking city, under the whole Red Keep anyway, and so that's pretty sick.
Under the city's pretty accurate because we do know there's at least tunnels out to Jataia's and Elia's.
Yeah,
so
and off to the coast over by the walls there where Arya,
Littlefinger's typical stomping grounds of getting people out of the city, which maybe Varys is too because this gate wasn't used a lot. I'm very perturbed about the gate that isn't used a lot.
It's cool.
You never snuck someone out of the city, Varys? I don't believe that. I don't believe that for a fucking second.
Not from the Tower of the Hand anyway.
Right.
So
little bitch ass.
Well, we'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.